9 2 1 block.
This was the historic moment when the Arab world took its first giant leap into space. This is the UAEs Mars project, which was taking off from a remote part of Japan to head for the Red Planet. And we're joined on the programme now by Dr. Mohammed Nasser Al-Akhbabi, the Director General of the UAE Space Agency. Dr. Al-Akhbabi, welcome to the programme.
Thank you, Alan, for this opportunity. Yes, it was actually a moment of proud and excitement. As I mentioned, I have been in a number of launching UAE satellites, but this time it was in Arabic, and it's heading to Mars. So something that it's hard to describe in words.
Well, we're certainly sort of used to hearing about ambitious space missions from the US, Russia, and China. So it really is something special to see the United Arab Emirates taking such a giant leap for the Arab world. So what was the drive behind such a challenging mission?
It's as you know, UAE is working on a number of initiatives for the region. In fact, it's UAE trying to set a model in our difficult place of the world. By doing good things, positive things. And the space program is all about inspiring. So through these projects, either this mission to Mars or the astronaut program last year, or even the satellites that we launched, a number of initiatives, it's focused on the region, on the Arab world, especially the young people. So we are using these projects and initiatives and programs to inspire, to educate, and to train our young people, but also in the region. The majority of the population are the youth. And now you just need to draw either a positive way or a negative way. So if you don't fill the gap, someone will come and fill it. So we try to spread, positivity, inspiring that it's possible. Yes, we have difficulties, but still it's possible, and we can do good things. And these programs, it's basically inspiring. Plus, the Mars mission has a scientific mission that it's well coordinated with the international space community that will bring good results, not for UAE, but also for humanity. We will be better understanding, the red planet, and we will learn more about its atmosphere, what happened to, that atmosphere. We know today is very thin. We know Mars today is dry, cold. So we don't want to protect, our blue marble, if you like, our home planet Earth. By learning what happened to our neighbor, we will be better, in a better position to learn, how can we protect, our, home planet. So all these together is the driver of UAE space program. And in fact, we have today is considered to be the largest space sector in the region, in the language of numbers. So UAE today owns and operates 10 satellites in orbit, 8 satellites in projects. In 2018, actually here from Japan, we launched our homemade satellites, Khalifa-Sat, and that was a turning point. So we are not just only using, but making. And that's didn't happen in one night. We have been investing in our young people through a long, training program. And also, but you can tell, if you put, the seeds, one day, you will, get, the fruit.
So I want to bring you to a personal moment now. So you had the 2 postponements for the mission before it left. It must have been pretty heart-stopping watching it before that launch. How did you, emotionally, how did you feel? Were you worried it wasn't going to happen? And how did it feel when whoosh, off it went?
It's something that I cannot describe it. As I mentioned, I've been in even early this year and last year, I've been in a number of launching events, but this one actually was totally different. At the beginning, we have difficulties in terms of the weather. So we were about to launch on the 15th and the weather was not cooperating. then it was delayed, then, but on the 20th, it was a perfect day. It was in the morning around 7 o'clock. The sun is already up and everything is clear. Even the weather was cooperating. Coincidence at that, one, before the sunrise, you can see Mars by your naked eyes from the launch site. Yes, and even actually not far from where the rocket is and the probe. It's amazing that you see Mars by your eyes, and there's a mission, there's a spacecraft is heading to that, and it's going different direction. So I was talking to the Japanese people. I say, okay, how come you launched this direction? Where's Mars is that, But of course, you know that it has to go around Earth and get a momentum, then it will fly to Mars. It's just not only me, but the people, the real team who's were behind this project. They were very excited. I mean, it's something that there's a lot of videos and footages describing this moment, but it's a historic moment, and we are glad that myself and that I am part. I am witnessing that moment, and I think it will open door for good things in the future, bringing impact.
I think collaboration was important for you. I mean, you worked with Colorado and others, and I think that's commendable that we're seeing cooperation and collaboration, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Alan, that space is all about cooperation. We are a young nation. We have our leadership has high ambitions, but through cooperation, you can move fast. You learn, you engage, you network, and through this project, we have been making great partnership around the world with space agencies, with entities, with academia, with industry as well. And this is where this knowledge, you cannot buy it with money. You have to engage. And now actually we have more confidence in ourselves and our young people. And also we have more friends, all the head of space agencies calling us, sending videos, congratulating UAE. Actually, some countries leaders are doing the same. It's amazing that how the space community are come together, and they are supporting each other. And as you know, space is a great domain for diplomacy. So we are proud of that. It's not only about Mars, but it's a journey. And we are proud that we have been through this in the last 6 years, and we learned a lot. We engage, we network, and it's all about cooperation.
So going forward, I mean, we've got 7 months now before Amal gets to Mars. Are you thinking about the future? Where will the Arab space ambition take us to? Do you see lunar flights, perhaps? When do we get our first Arab on the moon?
Well, it's as I mentioned, UAE is trying its best to help the region. And it's actually the name of this spacecraft is the Hope. Now the name is towards the young people, the youth of the region, that there's a hope. We need hope. Actually, in the light of COVID-19, what we need hope that we will pass these difficulties. Same thing. United Arab Emirates, not only this, by naming this project, but in 2016, a big, ambitious initiative was set for us, and we were mandated by our leadership to try to bring the Arabs together in space and start a cooperation where we can move forward faster and do much better together. And this is where we created what we call the Arab Space Cooperation Group. It's kind of an initial group where all the space agencies, institutions, academia, and the Arab world come together to coordinate space activities. And we are happy today that there are 14 space agencies and space center and institutions from 14 Arab countries among that group. UAE, it's not just only created that group, but also support that group with a satellite. It's a remote sensing satellite. It's named 813. 813, it's a history when the Arab scientists used to come together and work together. And this is where, this satellite will be a platform for the Arab scientists and engineers to come to work together under one roof. And also this will help the Arab region to identify where's the natural resources, climate change variables, and environment. It's not only that, but 2 weeks ago, before we launched this spacecraft to Mars, our leadership announced an opportunity to the Arab youth. It's a program that will, take the best minds in the Arab world to train them, to educate them, and to give them the opportunity to do some real work in UAE. And as you know, you might know that we have 5 space research centers in UAE doing a lot of space projects, the area of education, research, and development. And it's actually, this is where UAE is putting these initiatives, you know, apart from its program, space program, but also looking to the region and try to help, the region to elevate its people and to be part of the move and advancement of humanity as well.
But it's a great ambition, and I sure hope you achieve it. And thank you so much for joining us. And I guess you're going to be looking forward to getting some sleep after this week. And
as I am still in Tokyo, and in the light of actually even challenges, we learned a lot through this project. Transporting the spacecraft from UAE to Japan in the light of COVID-19 was actually an achievement. There's no airlines, no traveling, but through cooperation, and I emphasize on space cooperation, networking, friendship, we managed to get the spacecraft from Dubai to Tanegashima Space Center, and we launched on time.
Fantastic. Well, Mabruk, and thank you once again for joining us.